IUP. The IUP community, of course, is involved in a number of different initiatives to help with diversity and to help us understand exactly what's happening on campus. Kate Linder and Yaw Asamoah with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have both of you in the studio with us here this morning. If you pull that microphone just a little closer to you there.
Thank you for having us.
It is our pleasure to have you here. It was a little over a year ago that IUP embarked on this journey, and I wanted to get you in here a little bit and talk about it. Because I know that there are probably timelines that say reports are due here and reports are due there, and then actions are demanded by the reports, and I just wanted to get a feel for exactly how the process is going along. So let's talk about it a little bit. How is the process happening for us right now at IUP?
Well, the process is moving along very nicely. This year has been a year of laying the foundation for continued work in achieving the creation of a diversity action plan, which will be presented to the university leadership and Dr. Driscoll in November coming up. Mm-hmm. So this has been a year of laying the foundation toward that, creating the commission, developing a charge.
And making progress towards the development of the diversity action plan.
Yeah. Now, usually when you have things like this, you break it down into a number of different categories or different areas you want to address. Is that the way this one is structured?
Yes. In fact, our work is divided into 6 focus areas, and we're lucky enough to have subcommittees that we've appointed, each of which will be studying or doing some work on each focus area. And so we have one that looks at nurturing an inclusive climate on campus. We have a couple that look at resources that we would use to recruit a more diverse student body, more diverse faculty and staff. We have one that looks at professional development. We have one that looks at intergroup communications. That's one more that's not coming up, that probably commission number 4.
No, that covers it in terms of, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing for the community to know about those 6 areas is that those areas were developed by members of the IUP community, faculty, staff, and students. Mm-hmm. The commission proper, the 17 individuals that serve as the core commission, came up with some broad areas, and then those 6 subcommittees were developed and further refined those subcommittee topics that Yaw just referenced. So this is very much a communal experience.
When this is, I don't want to say it's concluded because I doubt the work will ever be concluded when you have issues such as this. But when initial reports are digested and actions are then taken, I'm sure that they come in stages as well, won't they?
Yeah. What we anticipate, again, for a timeline is in November, we'll present the Diversity Action Plan to Dr. Driscoll and to the university leadership. He'll be presenting that to the university leadership and the Council of Trustees as well. Once the Diversity Action Plan, the initial action plan, is put into motion, part of the Commission's responsibility is to help monitor the progress of the action steps that are outlined in that plan, and to make sure that those measurable outcomes are being achieved. But the Commission also has the responsibility, as you've mentioned, of sustaining the work. And in that sense, the Diversity Action Plan is very fluid. The Commission will continue to make recommendation to Dr. Driscoll and university leadership about additional progress that we can make in areas of diversity and inclusion.
So at this stage, we're a year into the whole process. I'm sure that there have been positives and negatives that have been identified, and then work begins on coming up with a plan that is going to utilize all of that information. What are some of those factors that have been identified here in this first year, this feeling out stage of this whole thing?
Well, it's been mostly positive. Even the negatives, I think, could be explained in a positive sense. And the point is that the focus has been embrace our entire campus community, make sure that it's not just one person's dream or responsibility to have a more inclusive or more diverse campus. We want a climate that embraces everybody on campus. And so We've used that approach, one, to solicit volunteers and participants, and the reach was wide, and the reception was very enthusiastic. And so the negative aspect of it was that there were so many people who volunteered when the call went out to ask people if they wanted to participate, and so we had to turn some people down.
Oh yeah,
and we had to use some interesting ways to encourage them to still stay engaged, even as we declined their offer to serve on the committee. So about 100 people did volunteer. When the call went out, we were only able to select 60. And so the remaining 40 and all others who perhaps didn't make the time or couldn't volunteer on a timely basis, we still have ways of reaching them and making sure that we generate their interest and solicit their input.
For two of you involved in the leadership of this whole effort at IUP, what have been the things that have opened your eyes a little bit about what's going on campus and what potentials there are?
One of the things that I appreciate, to speak to what Yaw just said also, was the number of people who are really devoted to working towards continuing to make IUP a more diverse and more inclusive environment. I think that was I don't know that I was surprised, but I really appreciated the level of volunteerism, and even folks who weren't able to serve on subcommittees who have contacted us and said, I can't be in a subcommittee, but I care about this issue and I want to do everything I can to be a part of continuing to move IUP forward, to make it a place that is embracing everyone. Every student that comes through our doors is going to feel welcomed, is going to feel supported, and is going to be able to focus on their academic achievement while they're here because of it. So I think that's been a good thing. I've been at IUP a long time. This is my 30th year, and I've seen a lot of different initiatives, and I also really appreciate that this is a very sincere, very broad initiative. And it's not a situation where the diversity action plan is going to sit on a shelf somewhere. There is absolutely everything that we see leads us to believe, and we do believe, that this will be moving forward. We may do some things that take a while to accomplish. We may do some things that we try that we have to alter in some way to be successful. But this is a living, breathing, acting plan and commission. And the fact that there's a commitment for it to be sustainable and the work to be sustainable, independent of who individually may serve on the core commission or independent of Yaw and myself and our ability to co-chair, is exciting to me. It doesn't surprise me, but it's exciting, and it's a good reinforcement of the core values we have.
Yeah, it's easy to see that where something can lose steam, especially when you have people coming and going. In a university culture, that's going to happen. People come, people do what they are here for, and then they move along to the next stage of their lives, particularly when you're thinking of a student body. But even in academic circles as well, there's a lot of motion from university to university,
right,
and in administrative circles as well. So things can take a back seat as priorities change and people come along and others leave. So it's good to see that. And I would assume then that the work being done at Elkin Hall is going to play a major role in keeping this thing going at IUP.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up the Elkin Hall project. Elkin Hall will open, we anticipate, in January of 2018. The first floor will be the Center for Multicultural Student Leadership and Engagement. And the functions within that office are encompassing student leadership, Greek life, typical student life departments, along with multicultural affairs and student success. Currently, we have that structure at the institution. We have the Center for Multicultural Student Leadership and Engagement, but it is located in two places. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be very exciting, and I think create its own energy and synergy when all of the offices are together in that first floor, just a couple of blocks from here. Yeah. So you'll be welcome to visit as well.
Well, we'll certainly be interested in watching that.
Beyond the physical dimension of our effort to build a more inclusive and more diverse environment at IUP, I think there's a climate component that for me is very important. And frankly, personally, for me, my feeling about it and some of the things that I've learned over the past year started from our experience that we had on campus when we started doing our self-study for our middle stage reaccreditation. And to summarize, the spirit that I walked away from it with was we at IUP embraced the status or the state of our university and shared it with they were called commissioners, the commissioners who came to visit. And we were proud. We were self-assured. We felt a pride of ownership on the campus. It's the same spirit that I foresee us using and asserting and expressing and embracing when it comes to building a more inclusive and diverse campus. In other words, every member of the community, we hope, is going to participate. They'll express what kind of campus they want. And the sense that we get is that, yes, most people on the campus community really do believe in having a more diverse and open and inclusive, and frankly, giving life to what it means. Making sure that we express ourselves, we celebrate all the things that we think are inclusive, and identify some of the areas that we think we could do better, and do it together. That's the key word.
Yeah.
Yes.
The President's Commission on Diversity and Inclusion at IUP will continue to do its work. We'll continue to follow it. I want to thank you both for coming in to visit with us this morning to talk about it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank here on AM 1160 WCCS 101.1 FM. You can actually go to iup.edu, and I assume that there's a website that is dedicated specifically to this issue?
Yes, /diversity-inclusion. So
there you go.
iup.edu/diversity-inclusion.
Excellent. So folks can check out and follow the progress there. Hey, that's going to do it for us for today. We've been very, very busy. Tomorrow we'll have, let me turn the page here. Silly goose. We're going to have a lot of things. We'll have more keys to give away, more pirate tickets as well. Have yourself a wonderful, fabulously weather beautiful type of day, won't you? It is Indiana in the Morning here on AM 1160 WCCS and 101.1 FM. Fox News is up next, and then it will be the Brian Kilmeade Show. And we'll continue to follow election results. Remember, you can go to our website, 1160wccs.com. Check out the election results from last night. Josh will be by with news coming up at noon as well. Pirate baseball tonight, 6:40, the airtime, the Pirates and the Nationals.